Hi everyone and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits, and today is Monday, May 24th, 2021. This is episode 375. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back for this episode, and if you're new, I hope you enjoy what you see and you'll come back and check out future episodes as well as check out past episodes. As always, you can find the podcast on YouTube, the blog dramaticknits.com, as well as our Ravelry group. If you are not subscribed or liking any of those places, I encourage you to do so. And yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've recorded, but I was ready to record yesterday, except I left my finished object down at the studio. So I had to remember to bring that home today, and we're recording after work. We had a lovely day of visitors, even though today the shop is closed. We had a group of knitters and crocheters in from Indianapolis that drove 2.5, 3 hours to make a field trip out to our studio to do a sock blank dyeing class, as well as do some shopping and crafting and have lunch and all that jazz. So it was so great to have Susan and her groupies with her, and we really enjoyed the afternoon. And I'm home and ready to get to crafting for the evening, but I thought I would sit down and record a quick podcast for you. There's several things I'm not going to be showing because I did not actually get a whole lot of crafting done. I've done a decent amount of knitting, but everything else has kind of gone to the wayside. I've actually been really busy with work, and when I'm home, I seem to just want to sit on the couch with Andy, watch a movie or a TV show, and I'm knitting. So, yeah, my voice is already starting to go because I've been doing more talking than I'm used to today, but we are going to keep moving forward. So the last 2-ish weeks have not been anything too exciting. We haven't really traveled anywhere. We've just been working and trying to get ready because we have a lot of shows coming up. We're going to be in Ohio, and then Indiana, and then Iowa, and then we're going on vacation to Tennessee, then we're going to be in Minnesota, and then we're somewhere else. I can't remember the next one. But so we're going to be all over the place, and we're hoping that if you can make it out to any of those upcoming events that we see you out there. But yeah, so not a whole lot. The weather has really started to rise out here. We were close to 90 degrees today, Fahrenheit, and we put in a Nest recently when we remodeled, and it likes to go on eco mode, which is great to save us money. But when we walked in the studio this morning, it was set at 78 degrees, and when we come in and we start dyeing yarn immediately, it never has time to cool down, so it was rather warm in the studio today. Unfortunately, that's just the curse of having a studio alongside with your shop. You're boiling water, humidity. Even though we have a fan in the back in the studio, we have an exhaust fan, it's still sucking out a lot of the air conditioning as well. So is what it is. Hopefully we can get that managed to cool down a bit more before we come in the morning. So yeah, other news in the studio, we are hiring a new studio assistant, so that's exciting. We have an interview tomorrow. Hopefully that will go well. Just some movers and shakers going on in the studio. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. So let's get right into the crafting. What is taking about? What did I finish? I finished my Tartan Toque and Tube, which is by Tracy Miller, one of the Grocery Girls. And I used Leading Men Fiber Arts Dramaturg DK in Spiced Apple Cider and Sand Dollar. And then I also held the Sand Dollar with its counterpart in the R Mohair Silk. So I had been showing you, I finished the hat. Here it is. This is the large size, though it is not very large. So I don't know if my gauge is much smaller because it's a hat. I did not necessarily do a gauge swatch. I have a large 24-inch head, and it fits like a beanie. So not necessarily for me, But I think she does give instructions for how to make it slouchier, and you can easily add in a stitch repeat to make it one wider if you wanted to. And then here is its counterpart, the tube, the cowl. And so it is a bit long and close to the neck, so you don't get to see a whole lot of the detail with it, but it will definitely keep you warm in the wintertime, which is its purpose. But again, if you wanted to make it a bit wider and not so close to the neck, you can again take one of these repeats, which I believe are about 12 stitches, and just add one or two more in those, and that would get you a looser fitting cowl. Now this is all done with mosaic knitting. It is done with slipping your stitches rather than actually knitting with two colors on the same row. So that makes it a bit easier to do. But yeah, so here is the set. And you do only need one skein of each of the main color, and you do not have to add the mohair. The hat and the, I know the hat, maybe the cowl, has a bobble option. I avoided that. I'm not a huge fan of bobbles. So and what's really cool is you do actually, it's kind of like in reverse colors with the ribbing and stuff like that. So that's that. Those are done. That was also knit, I don't remember my needle size now. I didn't write it down in my notes, but it's in my project notes on Ravelry. I do need to get pictures taken of this, and then it will be on a mannequin. I did just purchase patterns from Tracy today, so we will be getting those printed. Once those come in, we will be making kits for this, which will be available in the shop and online once they are ready to go. Alrighty, let's move right along. What have I been working on? I'm not going to show you my crocheted blanket because I maybe added one row. But let's talk about my Fade into Advent by Lisa Ross. I'm using Suburban Stitchers 2020 Advent set in the neutral colors. And I am getting close, guys. I just added color 21 in. And I've been working on it diligently. And so here is where I was, where you see that dangling stitch marker, and that's where I am. So here is all of its glory. That's the middle. This thing is huge, guys. Here's one end, the middle. Yeah. So it is quite ginormous. But it's garter stitch goodness. I am knitting this on a size 6 US, which is a 4mm needle. And yeah, I'm just going to town on it. So hopefully the next thing off the needles will be this. Hopefully. Oh, so close. I'm like, I've been working on this for over 6 months. I should be done with it by now. Especially when you consider it's like 4 something skeins of yarn. Like, come on. You're better than that, Steve. It's okay. All right, next up are Andy's red socks. I showed you I cast these on down in Cancun when we were there a couple weeks ago. And all I have to do is Kitchener the toe on the first sock and then go back in and put in the heel. So that's where I was last time. I finished the foot and the toe. I just got a Kitchener, and then up here, that line right there is where I will rip out and then put in the heel, and then I can cast on for the second sock. So those are being knit on a size 1 US 2.25mm needles, and I am using Lang Yarn's Jaw Wool Action Color in number 0460. My father time cowl that I showed you that I was using our sparkle sock in the Man of Mystery colorway. I threw on just a few rows at work. I have not had really any downtime at work to be knitting. We did have our first open crafting session this Saturday. So we had about 3 people come in for that. So that was good. I threw in a few rows there, but I was still rinsing yarn and whatnot. We are going to start our weekly crafting nights on Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're local, you're more than welcome. We are following CDC guidelines, and if you're vaccinated, you are good. If you are not, we are asking that you still wear your mask in order to maintain safety for yourself, our other customers, and our staff. So CDC recommends that if you're fully vaccinated, you can no longer wear a mask, and so we're following what they recommend. So yeah, weekly craft nights will be on Wednesday from 5 to 8. Those will be ongoing starting this week. And then we will have various Saturdays when we are home to have crafting, but that will be announced prior to the event. Unfortunately, we will not have another Saturday at home until sometime in July. So that will be the next Saturday crafting session. And the last thing I have to show you that I started was the So Basic sweater by Maxim Cyr. I'm knitting this for Andy, and I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts Soliloquy in a director's interpretation. So Andy took our Yarnakukin colorway and overdyed it in black, and I'm loving the way it's coming out. I am working on the raglan increases right now. And I'm using a new needle to me. These are new needles to the shop, which I will talk about later in the shop section. But here's where I am. The needles are not wanting to cooperate with me. So it's kind of reminiscent of our Envy colorway, but there's more highlights and lowlights and pops of color and things like that. As you can see, one of the details in the So Basic is a ribbing detail on the sleeves. In the new, I'm using a size 3 and 4 US, 3.25 and 3.5 millimeter needle. And the new needle I'm using are Prim ergonomic needles. And this is the size 4. What's different about these is you can see there it's got a different shaped tip, which I didn't know how I would feel about it, but it actually allows you to grab the stitch much easier. The customers who recommended this to me said it's really good for lace work, and if you're holding 2 or more strands together, to be able to pick up both of those strands easily. So if you're holding like a fingering or a DK weight with a mohair, these are really good. The only problem is, 1, a lot of the sizes are on back order, and 2, they do not carry but a variety of sizes. So I think they do like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10.75, 11, 13, and 15. How I remember that, I don't know. But there's a lot of missing sizes in there. I do believe I've heard through the grapevine that they are working to establish those sizes as well as to create an interchangeable set. Now, these are plastic needles. They do have a little bit of give. If you are rough on your needles, maybe not the needles for you. I would highly recommend a metal needle then for you. But I wanted to try these out to be able to give my recommendation on them. So far, I'm liking them. The cable seems really good, and it's working for the sweater. So that's going. He's excited to see progress on his sweater. Here is what it looks like in the cake. And that's all that I've really been working on. So let's move into in rehearsal. I do not really have anything on in the queue that I necessarily am going to be casting on here soon. I am still spinning some fiber optic yarns, 80% merino, 20% silk in the Blackbird gradient, but I think I've spun for like 15 minutes in the last 2 weeks. So again, nothing to show you. Both of my cross-stitch projects have not gotten much work done on them, so again, not showing you those. But I did bring my latch hook over here as I've worked a little bit on it. This is called Moonlit Fox or Fox in the Moonlight or something. So I am working on my latch hook. As you can see here, I've put in pretty much everything on this row. So a little bit. So that kit came from Hirschner's, but we do have 1 or 2 latch hook kits in our shop right now. Let's talk about what I've been watching. We watched a lot of movies. We watched Mortal Kombat, do not recommend. It was on HBO Max. The plot is horrible. The acting was very subpar. And yeah, I don't recommend Mortal Kombat. We finished Next in Fashion. It's the one and only season. It was okay. I had some issues with the judges' decisions, but we like our reality TV while we're watching dinner. That's on Netflix. We also watched Tenet, which I believe was on HBO Max. This was very long, a lot of issues again with plot. This deals with a man who is trying to save the world from a time reversal weaponizing mechanism. It's got Robert Pattinson in it, and is better than Mortal Kombat, but not great. Yeah, a lot of awesome movies we've been watching. We watched The Woman in the Window, which just came out on Netflix. That stars Amy Adams. I had heard bad reviews about it. It is a slow burn. It's not as horrible as everyone was making it out to be, but basically it's about Amy Adams plays a child psychologist who suffers from agoraphobia and cannot leave her apartment. She is rescued from Halloween eggers, people down Halloween egging her house by a lovely neighbor. They chit chat, they have play cards one night, have a couple of drinks, and then she notices that the neighbors across the street, she's over there, and she notices that she gets murdered, and then how she calls the police, and the wife of the man across the street is not the woman that she was having, drinks with, and how that all plays out. There's some plot twists, there's some turns. It's all right. Then last night we watched Army of the Dead. This is a new Zack Snyder film. It is kind of a cross between Ocean's 11 and The Walking Dead. Basically, a zombie outbreak happens in Las Vegas, and they are able to contain it. And they are going to nuke Las Vegas. And this rich higher up says, hey, there's $200 million locked in the bottom of my casino. I want you to go in and get it before they nuke the casino. And yeah, it's long. It's about 2.5 hours, but it was entertaining yesterday. If you get into like that gory science fiction kind of thing, and it's not horribly acted. So yeah, that's Army of the Dead again on Netflix. All right, stash enhancement. I only had one new thing come in, and that is a piece of cross-stitch fabric. I picked this up to do the project, the pandemic sampler that I showed you I got silks for. This is from Fabrics by Stephanie. This is a 40 count linen, 18 by 26 in the Jamie's Kilt colorway. And I don't know how well you can see the colors there. Let me see if I can make it focus a little better. So it's kind of this murky gray green with shots of purple in it. Sorry, the glare on that's kind of good to see it. So 40 count is scaring the bejesus out of me, but now that I have my trusty magnifying glasses that I use when I cross stitch, I can see it a lot easier. Oh my goodness, I'm glaring out. What is going on? There we go. Gotta do a little color reset. So that's all that's come into the house. That's pretty good. All right, let's talk about the giveaway this week. We are going to be giving away 4 skeins of Naturally Nazareth by Kramer yarns. This is an Aran weight. It is 100% domestic wool. It's in the color spring, and it is a hand wash. It's 184 yards to 100 grams. So there will be 4 of these in total. These will be up on the Ravelry group. So I notice a lot of people entering via YouTube. If you'd like to be entered for the giveaway, you need to go over to the Ravelry group. It's just the easiest way for me to pull. I tried doing giveaways on YouTube and no one ever contacted me to claim their prize. So on Ravelry, you go to Dramatic Knits Video Podcast group. You must be a member of the group. Only post once in answering that prompt, and you must answer the prompt to be entered for the giveaway. So the prompt for this giveaway is, what's your favorite day of the week? Pretty simple. What's your favorite day of the week? Put me a day and you're entered. And you can only post once, and please be a member of the group. Again, answer that on the Ravelry group to be entered. YouTube comments, while encouraged, general comments sake, answering the prompt on YouTube will not get you entered for the giveaway. Speaking of which, let's move into a round of applause. Last episode's giveaway was for this blue jeans purse kit. And there's all the yarns. And I totally did not pull for a winner. So let's do that while we're on air. So the prompt was, what board game do you like most? So we have 2 through 29. Pick a number between 2 and 29.
That would be 11.
All right, number 11 is our winner. Let's see who that is. Number 11 is Collector Carrie, and that she is from Springfield, Illinois. So congratulations, Carrie. Carrie said, I have to chime in with Monopoly as well. My dad taught me how to play when I was 7. He won, of course, but I held out for a long time with about $11 in cash, somehow managing to skip over his properties and surviving on my $200 from Pass and Go. So congratulations, Carrie. Collector Carrie, if you would please direct message me on Ravelry with your first and last name, mailing address, and email address. I'll get that purse kit out to you in the mail as soon as possible. All right, let's move into center stage, all things Leading Men Fiber Arts. First, let's talk about new items into the shop. Every episode, I try to bring 5 or so new items that are coming to the shop. I did not bring the new colorway for May because pre-orders are already over, but the new colorway was chili con queso. I think I showed that to you last time, so that's not a huge deal. The Prim needles are new, so check those out. That's PRYM. We have a variety of 24 and 32 inch needles. Some are out of stock due to being back ordered, but we also do have flexible cable needles from them, so you can make them into whatever shape you would like. And then let me move this out of the way. What else do we have? We have our new Leading Men Fiber Arts sock rulers from Katrinkles. These are $25, but they are sock rulers that you can insert into your socks to measure. It's got European as well as US shoe sizes for men, women. It gives you ideas on how much negative ease you should have. So there's the front, but then we have our logo emblazoned on the back. So these are available online and in store. Thanks to the people at Katrinkles. We also just got a restock, and I got them stocked online today. These are bucket bags from Shaggy Baggy. And this is just one of the styles. We have lots of plaid and other variety of styles. So you can see there the flat bottom. They open up. They have leather handles and then the white cream inside. These are all $38, but they're great for putting in other project bags and just taking with you, having next to your couch or your armchair Cute little bags, lots of different ones. The flannel ones are really nice because they're actual like soft flannel. But then these ones are canvas, the other ones that we carry. So those are really neat. We just got a restock of hand-stitched Life stitch markers. These are my favorite kind. They're hand-beaded. We just got in 10 new sets. I think we've got 12 or 13 different options, and you get 12 of the beaded stitch markers for $5. That's not bad. We got a variety of multicolored as well as tonal ones. And then last but not least, I thought I'd show you these. We have brought in a variety of Acreworks products, and not really any spinning products, but we do have these yarn caddies. And what's really cool here, so what you do is, I gotta figure out how to turn it. There we go. So you can suction cup this to like the table so it doesn't move. And then you can use this part here to put your ball of yarn on. You wind it onto here, put the cake on there, and then you put the cake on here, and this is a little tension tamer. And then you also have a 3D whirl that the yarn can sit on, and then it can spin right off of that rather than having your ball roll all over the place. So these are really neat, all 3D printed and made in Tennessee by the Acreworks team. And we got a variety of the little whirl styles. There's only 2 left, but we can always get more in. I just had them send me a variety. And these are $45 for the yarn caddies. So if you're like looking for a gift idea or a different tool to enhance your stash, this is always a good idea. So that's what I brought to show that are new to the shop this episode. We do have 3 knit-alongs going on in the Leading Men Fiber Arts group. The one finishing up this month is the Kaibab hat and mitt set. We do have coupon codes as well as yarn sets available in the shop. Ending in June, we have the Mystery Make-Along Spring 2021. There's a crochet and a knit version for that. And then ending in July, we have the Pick a Pop Cowl, which was the new pattern that premiered with last month's Cast of Characters mini skein yarn subscription. And it's a beautiful shawl cowl that uses just 4 mini skeins. And we do have yarn sets available and coupon codes available. More information on the Leading Men Fiber Arts group for that. We will be announcing a new knit along here on June 1st, as well as our new colorway of the month. We encourage you to become a member of the Leading Men Fiber Arts group on Ravelry, as well as follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you get our newsletter to stay up to date with everything that's new. Every week we have new things happening because I don't like to not be busy. And of course, again, I've told you where you can find the episode, but if you would go on over and join the Dramatic Knits video podcast group in Ravelry, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, which all of you are, if you want to click the subscribe button and the thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated as well. So not too long of an episode. Again, not a whole lot of crafting going on, but I'm sure that a shorter episode isn't going to hurt anyone, and I am very thankful that you took the time out of your day to sit down and chat with me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and or you can always message me via Ravelry, or if it's something pertaining to Leading Men Fiber Arts, the best way to get an answer is to email us at leadingmenfiberarts@gmail.com, or you can use the contact form on our website, which is leadingmenfiberarts.com. So until I see you again in about hopefully 2 to 3 weeks, we'll see when I finish something new. I hope you make something dramatic.